We'll let you know in a minute. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Especially this day and age.
All righty. So welcome everyone to the special meeting of the Hyde Park Town Board. Today is Tuesday, June 13th. Please join me as we pledge allegiance to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we have a very short meeting tonight, but the first item on the agenda is a representative from, actually, you can tell us where you're from. We're here to discuss the cell tower lease at the town highway facility. So welcome.
Thank you, Supervisor Rohr. My name is Will Stone. I'm from Crown Castle. So Crown Castle is the company that manages the tower on behalf of the town. We typically own the steel that we lease to other carriers, but we do have the small portfolio of what we call JNS sites. And JNS, as I was explaining a little while ago, was, I guess, the initials of the gentleman that approached the town several years back and develop these towers on your property. And we have basically 20 others of these. In fact, one of them's going on, a very similar proposal is going on at Rhinebeck for Verizon. And this is also the same kind of JNS tower that Crown Castle manages for those. And what they're gonna be looking at is the same lease that your folks are looking at. So basically, we manage, we inspect the tower on behalf of the town, and part of what we do is to market the tower. We have a very extensive tool that we use that gets our inventory that we either own or manage on behalf of other property owners out to the carriers. And we've worked really hard to get Verizon on this tower, as well as a few other ones that they weren't on already, because you probably know they're not at too many places. They're so widespread, they're the #1 carrier. So to find a tower that doesn't have Verizon on it, it's a gem, especially for someone like you that has the space on the tower. So we were able to get into these discussions with Verizon, and really the difficult part was drafting this agreement that we've already gotten the town of Franklin, the town of Delhi, we got Rhinebeck to sign it. Hopefully, they said they were going to approve it tonight. And a few other towns as well. And it's based off of that JNS agreement, that management agreement. So that language is going to be part of that agreement that you have in front of you there. And the basic terms of this agreement, it's a 10-year term, initial term with 5-year renewals. So they're looking long-term here. They're not looking to get off this tower anytime soon. The base rent is $3,045 a month. And boy, I didn't take the note, but it's in the agreement. I believe it was a 2.5% annual escalation. So every year the rent goes up. So basically that's the terms, the financial terms of this agreement. They're looking for the next, 25 years to be paying rent, the town of Hyde Park and getting coverage for their customers out here. What they're looking to actually install on that monopole is a new sector antenna mount at 126 feet on it. There's only AT&T at the top right now. A sidebar is that T-Mobile is also looking to get on this tower. They're not exactly there yet with the agreement, or else I would have tried to get that here for discussion at the same time. They're probably 2 or 3 weeks out before I'll get that agreement in front of you folks. But there's another carrier that's going to be going on that tower here, with your approval, of course. So at 126 feet, they're going to put a new antenna mount with 6 antennas on it, 6 panel antennas. Each one of these antennas are about 96 inches tall and about 1 foot wide. And we ran a structural analysis. It doesn't matter if one of the carriers is just changing out an antenna or some coax line. We make sure we run a new structural analysis because there's always changes. There's code changes that require different requirements, so we always run a new structural analysis. So with Verizon's equipment added to it, that tower's still has 50% capacity left on it, which is awesome.
Can I just interrupt you? Did you say it will be 126 feet? And how many feet is it now? What's the change in height that you're looking at?
Oh, the height of the tower's not changing.
Oh, okay.
And that's an excellent question. That'll give you a little bit better visual of what I'm talking about. And at the time that I sent what I sent, I might have put the construction drawings in there, but I don't think they were finalized. But I brought a copy with me. The pole itself, existing right now, is 149 feet.
Oh, okay.
AT&T is at the very top, so their center line is about 142 feet. And then Verizon is looking to go at 126 feet. I'm trying to recall what T-Mobile's proposal is to go either in between AT&T and Verizon in that space, or to go right below Verizon. But there's plenty of room. Yeah. And I even looked at, with T-Mobile's proposed equipment, that's only going to bring the capacity to 60% used up, 40% available. That's excellent. I mean, so you have 3 carriers on it, you will, if as long as all the approvals go through. There's several other. There's at least one. Sprint is the only other, but who knows what Sprint's going to do. But there's a lot of non-traditional ways of getting other customers, smaller companies on there that we're going to continue to market to. So you have the new antenna mounts at 126 feet. Then they're going to have a platform, a raised steel platform at the base of the tower inside the compound. That's about 12 by 16 feet. There will be 2 radio cabinets on it, and then a diesel generator that'll fit on it. It's a smaller generator, and they do use sound dampeners, so it's not a monster of a generator, but it's really, I think it's an FCC requirement that all the carriers do all their best effort to get a backup generator for their equipment.
Emergencies.
Exactly.
Do we have one now? Do we know? Or?
I don't, I can actually take a peek to see if there's one there. It looks like there might be.
Okay.
I'm looking at the AT&T site plan, or part of it, and they have a shelter, and then there's a small box which looks like what would be an outline of a generator. So it looks like the AT&T does have a generator there. So that's Verizon's including that on all their current installations that they're starting with now, and then all those older installations they have, they're going back to add generators too.
Does this have to go to the planning board, Warren, for review, or?
Yeah, I mean, it has
Okay.
to, so I thought I saw something in here about increasing the height, but you're not, it's only gonna,
No, so, yeah, when T-Mobile initially approached us about getting on the tower, they wanted a taller, what they call rad center or elevation, than the tower currently was. And I think I'd emailed one of you about how do you feel about increasing the height of the tower.
maybe that's why it's so.
That's right. That's been taken off the table now, as far as I could see at this point in time. We did call, I think, the code office, and they said that this would only require a building permit, what we're looking to do, because we're not increasing the height of the tower or anything like that.
You're also not increasing the footprint where this platform is that correct?
Well,
Or are you?
there's one side of it that the fence has to come out 9 feet in order to accommodate the space of the platform.
Okay.
And that's the only, I guess, visual change if you're looking from above of what you would see there.
And there's ample room to do that?
Oh, there's on the property?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What's the approval that we need to give for this? It's mainly just the contractual aspect, that we would be getting additional income? I mean, I'm not sure what the question really is.
Well, so
for us.
typically
Why would
speaking,
we
and
want-
I apologize because I've never done this in the town of Hyde Park before, but I've done it in every other jurisdiction that we've done have this agreement on. The point of the town or village board is to memorialize your approval of the agreement so that you can sign it.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what I'm looking for you all to do, is to approve the agreement and to be able to sign it as soon as possible. That way Verizon can keep their wheels moving on their project.
Is there any negative we should be aware of? I mean, we get more rental income and the residents get better service.
That's, I mean, it's a
undeniable
win-win,
better
right?
service.
You get money for open, it's like having a strip mall without any stores in it if you don't have carriers, you know what I mean?
So just go back to the financial
Yeah.
a little bit. So the $3,045 a month, is that the net, or do we pay a commission out of that?
So,
or-
yeah, that's an excellent question. So Crown gets half the rent, right?
Okay.
So we have a vested interest to get this deal done as well, because we want to keep getting the revenue for it as well. But, and to justify it, and I don't know if, I mean, there was an agreement that was put in place long before I was part of all this. What we do for the town, I suppose, is what the justification is. Our marketing, we do our inspections, we
Right.
run structural analyses, and we
maintain it.
we maintain it in the property, and we deal with the carrier customers, so y'all don't have to, right? And anytime they want to make even very diminutive changes, we work to make sure, or at least try to, unless it's, and we use some market rates on different small componentry that might get changed on the tower, but if there's a way to work a rental increase into what they're changing on their equipment platforms, we'll certainly push for that.
And there's no maintenance requirement on our part? There's nothing that we have to, there's no maintenance requirement on our part? There's nothing that we have to do?
No.
Over time? So this would be for Verizon, but you've also mentioned T-Mobile?
Yes, so T-Mobile is also, they're about 2 steps behind Verizon, right?
And are we looking at the same net rate?
I hadn't seen the rent on that, so I don't want to speak to it yet. Typically, T-Mobile has a smaller scale of what they're installing. So it's probably, and just an educated guess, going to be slightly less than what you're seeing now.
Okay, so thank you for that presentation. And I thought it was just best you just come and tell the whole board and
Oh, yeah, my
give them an
pleasure.
opportunity to ask questions. Warren, you probably have some additional
Yeah,
questions?
so what other providers are on the tower now?
So AT&T,
Singular?
who was
Oh,
Singular,
Singular.
their entity name is New Singular Wireless.
Okay,
LLC.
what income do we get from Singular? You manage that,
I don't really see the income come in. I can find out for you, though. I
Okay.
can certainly
Everyone
let you know what you're currently making on a month-to-month or an annual
I
basis.
think I thought it was $400 or something.
I'm not sure. We can check on the
Yeah,
contract.
I can
administer
email
that?
you that as soon as tomorrow.
Does that go through you also, the income, or?
It goes through Crown. Yes, it does. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought it was only 400, so maybe the base lease amount is less for them. Okay, this is not by the way, this is not a lease, this is going to be a license agreement, because we're not permitted to lease for that length of period of time.
Right.
And so we phrase it as a license agreement.
What is the agreement say?
License.
It does say license?
Yeah.
Good. All right, then we don't have to change it then.
So what I would want from you is just a sign off from our zoning administrator that you've gone to her, and that she confirms that all you need for this is a building permit.
Okay.
I would assume that the tower originally had an approval from the town, and there was an agreement at that point that, or an expectation that there'd be co-location on the tower. I don't know whether we had a maximum.
I'll have to look at it. And I mean, typically we see municipal properties are exempt from some of those kinds
Well,
of requirements, but
We can declare them exempt, but I don't know what process they went through.
I could certainly see if we have a lot of those legacy documents weren't transferred to us. I'll look to see if this.
Well,
if
she would
this-
know, Tad would probably
Right,
know,
okay.
our administrator, what the original approval was. So whatever was contemplated by the original approval for co-location,
Okay.
we just want you to go through that process, and in the meantime, I'll take a look at the license agreement. It looked okay to me
Okay.
when I originally saw it, but we did have some questions about increasing the height of the tower. Is the tower lighted? It must be lighted at that height now.
It should be on here if there's a beacon. Let me just take a
I
quick.
think there is a beacon on that.
Is that right?
Yeah, up
I
on
think
Starting
FAA regulations required to be.
Lightning rod. We're not showing a beacon on these drawings,
Okay,
but
you know-
that doesn't mean it's not
Okay,
there.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just wanted to. Yeah, so this is fine. I mean, we can probably have this for you by our next meeting.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you
Excellent.
can communicate with me or have Tad communicate with me once you've spoken to her about just a sign off from her.
So I think that would be the process. You get that to Warren as soon as possible, and then we could put you on our July 10th agenda.
Sounds
for
great.
Approval, for vote for approval, and move this right along.
That sounds good to me.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, it's a,
So I'm going to email you currently what you're getting from AT&T, and then what our communications with the zoning officer. Is it Tad?
it's Kathleen Moss. Yeah,
Okay.
Tad is her nickname.
Okay.
And I think her address is zoning administrator at Hyde Park,
Okay.
ny.us.
And I think we were dealing with Kathleen on just some existing issues with the tower, some closing out some old stuff as already, so that shouldn't be hard to get any more information from her. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
I mean, the other thing that you do need, I mean, you're gonna need an approval in the sense that we're gonna want to get an approved co-location on the tower, so we always know what's on that tower. So there would have to be the maps showing the co-location, and they have to be signed off either by the planning board or by the zoning administrator, so she'll tell you what the
Okay.
process is.
Okay.
I'm just curious, who owns the tower?
You do.
We own.
We do.
Okay.
We've kind of assigned our rights to manage it to Crown.
That's correct.
For a period of time, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an expiration date of some sort that I could
Yeah, there's
find
an
out. for you.
old management agreement
Right.
that's been assigned 400 times.
That's right, amended and,
Yeah, I didn't know if it was your tower on our land or our tower.
no, it's
No,
your
it's not.
tower, which is
It's
pretty
our
good.
tower. Okay.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
Will, thank you so much.
Thank you very
And
much.
we'll
Thank you so
see
much.
you
Appreciate
again.
it.
You got it. Have a great night.
Take care. Okay, so we actually have one resolution to add at the dais, and that's number 4. Resolution authorizing emergency repair of a water valve located at Hackett Hill. So may I have a motion and a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, excellent. We have an opportunity for public comment on the resolutions. If anyone in the audience would like to join us at the desk, okay. All right, so moving right along. Emily, would you like to start on
Sure.
resolution number 1?
Resolution 613-1 of 2017, resolution approving a request from the Culinary Institute of America to conduct a fireworks display.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 613-2 of 2017. Resolution authorizing the Hyde Park Town Board's support of the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater's sale to Washington, D.C. to maintain clean water and other environmental protections.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, excuse me, squeaked a little bit there.
Resolution 613-3 of 2017, resolution approving amended seeker finding statement and authorizing town supervisor to execute environmental impact mitigation agreement with T-Rex Hyde Park owner LLC.
Second that?
And all in favor? Well,
Aye.
actually, we're going to do a roll call. So, Pat, would you please call the board?
Councilwoman Svensson.
Aye.
Councilman Ray.
Aye.
Councilman Marine.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Supervisor Rohr.
Aye.
Carried.
Warren, did you want to speak to that, or are
No,
you tired of
no, I
it?
feel like I've given birth to our third child.
Well-
It's about as heavy as.
It is.
We thank the cooperation, and
Yes.
Jennifer was terrific, and it was a pleasure putting this together with you. Very complicated, but it worked out
Yep.
well.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you, Mike.
excited,
Very
and we're
excited. Thank
looking
you.
forward to
Thanks.
the future. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, and
So
to
we'll
all
sign
your
this
partners.
tomorrow, put them together, and then we'll get them on to you to sign.
Great, okay. A little anticlimactic for all.
Been a long
It's all
All
good.
right, thanks. Yeah,
you
of
can.
course.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mike.
Mike.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Mike.
And this is the last one that was just added at the day. It's Resolution 613-4 of 2017, resolution authorizing emergency repair of a water valve located at Hackett Hill.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that was a quickie. So unless anyone else has anything to add, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion?
And a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for coming out, Pat.
Thank you. See you
It was
tomorrow.
your lucky night. It was,
That's why I get good reception.
Donna will be jealous. Okay, take care.
you.
Thank you.
That's why AT&T is good.